Hey, welcome back to the shop. What I want to do today is talk a little bit about sandpaper. I know there's a lot of people who do not like sanding, and there's many reasons for that, I suppose. And I've never really seen anywhere where they teach you how to sand. They just sort of leave it up to you, figure it out by yourself. You see tips here and there. But sanding, I found, is really easy. It's not hard at all. You get good results right quick. What I use is sandpaper I get from Klingspor. Klingspor is a big manufacturer of sanding belts and other sanding products. And they get a lot of waste, a lot of cut off, and they sell it by the pound. You can get a pound box of assorted grits from Klingspor. And if you're near a store, you can go and get cut-offs from the bin in the back by the pound. What I got right here is what I get out of the bins. You can see it's all different lengths and sizes. It's all different grits. And that there is about $3 worth of sandpaper. It's quite a bit. And this is really, really good sandpaper. It's cloth backed. It's right flexible. It's good sandpaper. Now sandpaper is really just a tool. It's a cutting tool. And like any other cutting tool, it works good when it's sharp. When it's not sharp, it don't work at all. And I believe that's one of the troubles people have, is trying to use sandpaper well beyond its useful life. And there's many other problems they have. So what I'm going to do today, I've got a list of the common grits they sell here. Where's the grits? Here they are. I'm sorry, let's start again. The grits I have here are 60, 80, 100, 120, 150, 180, 220, 240, 320, and 400. Now I'm going to be using those grits today. Here they are. They're all cut offs. They're all different sizes. But I've got them all right here. After I get to 400, I've got a piece of 800 arbor net. It's not expensive either. But when you get to the higher grits above 800, they get rather expensive for sandpaper. You get little pieces at a high price. But there's an alternative. It's these Scotch-Brite pads. And they do the same thing. You get 4 pads. They're relatively cheap and they last a long time. You start with the green, you go to the purple, and then the gray, and then the white. So what I'm going to do, I've got a piece on the lathe. It's pretty rough. I'm going to sand it out. I'm going to go through all the grits. Quick pass and quick pass back with each grit. I'm not going to wear the paper out. I'm not going to use a lot of pressure. I'm going to back them with a piece of hard sponge. Boy, this one here is just about wore out. I'm going to have to get me some more. But I'm just going to back them with a sponge and just make a quick pass with them and show you how it works. So the first thing is, let me get a shot of what I'm going to be sanding on first. Show what it looks like now. It's pretty rough. If you got one that's even rougher, you can use the bigger grit sandpaper. You can use 60 or 80. It's a good tool if you want to remove a lot of wood. It's a valid tool to use and it works. But like I said, this one I'm going to start with 100. So let me get a shot of the piece I'm going to do first. This right here is what the piece looks like that I'm going to be working on. It's pretty rough right now. So I'm going to set the camera up to the side and I'm going to start sanding. I'm going to make a couple of quick passes all the way up to 400. Okay, I've got the sandpaper laid out here. What I'm going to do is make a couple of quick passes with each grit all the way up to 400. I'm not going to apply a lot of pressure, and I'm not going to wear them out. After I get to 400, I'm going to stop, and because this is a softer wood, I'm going to spray it with water and let it dry, and then I'll go back at about 320 and 400 and work my way up again from there. So let's get started here. Take her up to about 250, somewhere around there. Start with a 100. That's it. Normally I'd have the vacuum on for this, but it don't work when I'm recording. Then I'm going to the 120. Nowhere at all hardly on the paper. 150. Okay. 180. $220. $240. $320. And 400. Now let's see if we can get another shot and just how nice and smooth that looks there. That's got a nice smooth finish now. Ain't nearly as good as it's going to be, but this is where I'm going to spray it with water. This will bring up the fibers that's been pushed down in. Okay, now I'm going to spray it lightly with water, just get it damp, and that'll pull up the fibers that's been pushed down in. This is because it's a softer wood. Not a whole lot of water. And get me a paper towel and wipe the excess off. I'm going to let it dry for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going back with the 320 and the 400. Then I'm going to go with the 800 and then all the Scotch-Brites. So just let it dry for a bit. It's dried off now, and you can feel the fibers have been pulled up in it. So I'm going to go back with the 320 and the 400. Going to hit it with the 800 Abranet. Then I'm going to go to these Scotch-Brite pads, and I'm going to bring it up pretty shiny. Bring the speed back up. 320. $400. I'm going to make a couple of light passes with this 800 arbor net. This stuff's not hard to find. And it lasts a good time. Okay, now I'm going to go to the Scotch-Brite pads. First the green one. I think I'll bring the speed up a little more on it. The purple one. The gray one. And then the white one, which is really equivalent to very, very high sandpaper. And that should do it. Take a look and see what we've got here. In here, and you can see that's shiny and smooth, very smooth and very shiny. It's awfully smooth. It's ready to take a finish right now. I'm going to go ahead and put the finish on it in a bit. So this is it. After I put a coat of finish on it, I still got it spinning. You can see now that it is pretty well smooth, taking a good finish. So I just wanted to show you that. So I just went through and sanded that up and brought it to a shiny finish in no time at all from a rough state. The trick is using good sandpaper, not applying a lot of pressure. Let the sandpaper do the work, make sure it's sharp, and take it all the way up, not skipping any. And it don't take any time at all. Now, if you want to remove a lot of wood, if you want to do a little bit of shaping, or you got some deep grooves, go ahead and use the 60 or 80 grit sandpaper. That's what it's for. If you got good sandpaper, that don't take long either. And then if you follow it with the right grits, you can take them scratches out right away quick. So that's the whole deal on sandpaper. It's really nothing to it at all as far as I'm concerned. It's just that a lot of people really, I think, don't know how to use sandpaper. They try to use it too long, or they try to apply too much pressure, or keep rubbing it and rubbing it, or they try to take out scratches with the inappropriate grit. You can't take out deep scratches with 220 grit, let's face it. But if you choose the right grit and then work your way up, it takes very little time at all. So I hope you got something from this video. I appreciate you watching it, and thank you. Come back, see my next video. I'm going to leave an email address here if you got any questions or anything. So again, thank you.